Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to look at, like we did last week, every drop back from Jordan Love against the Patriots, week 2 here of the preseason. So we will just get on that so we can hopefully not take as long as we did last time. All right, first play is going to be incomplete to DeGuara. We'll say right around there. So we're going to have the kind of this boot action. You're going to bootleg out. There you go. Boot that way. Not there. Take it to DeGuara. All right, not there. Let's talk about what's going on here. Again, what kind of this concept, which is a core concept from the Packers, that we've seen a lot. We will continue to see a lot. We're going to have that. You're going to have that crosser. You're going to have this flat underneath, and then you have DeGuara kind of whiff on this block, and then he's going to fall. That's going to be your option. This usually is not an option. So usually you're going, sorry about that, 1 to 2, and then he's going to go on 3. So you're trying to hit that crosser. We'll talk about maybe, why that doesn't end up working. Got this boot. And Dobbs here is out. He's trying to do this thing where he goes up over the top, which does not work. And it doesn't really kill anything here, but just something he likes to do that I don't necessarily love. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, during the season at some point. And we're going to have Watson as your, again, kind of your one read. But we're going to have these defenders here kind of dropping back. That's a bad color right there. Sorry, I'm trying a new pointer thing. See how that works. They're dropping back there. Not there. Musgrave, you can see thrown to the outside there, but I don't know. That feels risky to me in terms of what you would likely end up getting. So again, DeGuara, we'll see it from the backside. He throws high. Spacing there is tight. He throws high. Incomplete. Look at it from this angle. We will look at DeGuara here, right there, who's going to kind of do this little wind back that way, try to block, fall down, then he's going to end up being your option. So here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Motion, wind back, whiff on the block. And again, the guy you're trying to hit is right here. Trying to hit Watson in the middle. You've got that guy. You've got that guy kind of following. You really have to layer that sucker over. That's where he's looking right now. It doesn't work. At this point, tackle box is about here. About right there, I think, is where the tackle box is. I would ideally like to see him just throw this away at this point. He tries to make something happen. He drops that arm. Not there. Kind of gets that guy over. Throws it up over the top. A risky throw for what would have been maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. At that point, you're outside the tackle box. I would prefer just throw that away. Incomplete ball. That's the first drop back there. This next one I like. Going to have Verts. It's going to be complete somewhere in the middle just to Musgrave here. Drops back. Doesn't like what he sees. Take Musgrave. Musgrave gets 10 yards on first down. We'll literally take that every single time. So what they're trying to do, you got this kind of Verts look. Running there. You got this kind of out and up look here. Now, what they are going to be doing, and try to find the right color here. The Patriots, dropping wide. I feel like that's a bad color. There we go. A little better. They're dropping wide. Love's not going to look anywhere else. He's looking down the barrel of a gun. He's going to see these guys here dropping wide, which caps these routes. So you don't have anything there. You can make a case for maybe this outside one here, but even then, that's probably not the best idea. And these guys going to be dropping back, something the Patriots like to do a lot. They were looking for Love to attack the middle of the field. They took away the intermediate middle of the field, so he just kind of took what he could here. So we're going to have Love dropping back. He's looking. He drops back. You've got, again, that guy there with those two. We'll switch back to yellow here. He's capped. Do the line here. Bang, capped. He's going to come up there. He's capped. You're going to have this linebacker able to carry that up actually too. Again, he's nothing there. But then you can also see you've got this nice little line. So he's just going to throw it to the bubble. All right, everyone's kind of taken up. I don't love that. I'm just going to take it, my guy, take the check down, take what they give me, 1st and 10, pick up 10 yards. I will take that. We'll look at the stripe of his helmet right there. See what he does. Again, he doesn't look anywhere else. He's just looking straight down the middle. Nothing's there. Taking my guy, Musgrave, complete pass. Nicely done. Play action boot. Another one here. This is one we'll talk about. Musgrave, right there in the middle, is who's going to be our guy. Because that's where it's going to end up going. The broadcast, they said he threw it behind him, which he did. We'll talk about why that was the right read and what maybe could have gone differently here. So got play action bootleg. Again, throws a Musgrave, throws behind him. Incomplete. As we talked about before, what you're doing here is you got this kind of clear out on this side. You got this big crosser over here. That's your one. You've got this little slicer releasing to the flat under here. That's your two. What Musgrave's going to be doing is a little slam route. Fake. You're going to fake the block, come back out. The idea behind that route, I think red worked well the last time. So I'll try to figure this out on the fly. I should have done this before I started recording. Is you're trying to get these guys pulled up on the run and you got them back on the pass. So you got this kind of yo-yo action, but eventually you're getting everything flowing this way. And a lot of times with that play action, then you come back, you get some overcorrection by the defense. So you're looking for the space in between. This slam route is looking at, okay, everyone's kind of flowing over this way. I need to fall back. I'm looking for where the guys are not. That's the entire idea behind that slam route. Again, we'll look at it. There he goes. He's rolling out. You're looking to hit that two. And we'll talk about this from the other angle. The two looks like it's there. Makes it a little tricky. Maybe you can throw that, but we'll look at that there. That's the one read, I guess. You don't love the two. So it's the one read there. The two is here. You don't necessarily love that read because I don't know. It's a little relatively risky where you're rolling out, probably minimal gain again. So you're really trying to hit him, but then you end up going there. So he's going to throw back, throws behind. We can see it's really good from the back angle. Musgrave's our guy right there. So again, he's going to kind of block down and then release, and we'll see it from this angle, kind of what you're supposed to do, or usually what you're supposed to do, not a coach, kind of how you typically see that run, what you're trying to accomplish there. So you get this kind of wash that down with everyone else, then you boot out. All right, this is a good angle here. So we've got right here, there he is. You've got this guy kind of on his hip. You've got some room here. Got this guy bearing down on Love. And you've got, I guess that's Dobbs, I think, at the top there. So we'll run this a little bit more. If you're trying to hit Dobbs in the middle there, you now have Musgraves kind of in the way, which you don't love. What you're supposed to do in the slam out, we'll run this back a little bit more. How this is typically run. Again, the entire idea is you're looking to the work to the spaces they are not. So you fake that down. The unknown here is this guy. What does he do if Musgrave doesn't release? We're going to envision a couple different worlds here. So we're going to say, all right, let's say, well, now we can see he's right in the path here. So in this world, we will say Musgrave is not here. Musgrave has hung back. So he's right there. So in this world, if this man here, right there, actually, let's go back to our thing because I like that. I apologize. Cross him out. He's hanging back behind. All right. If he's there, then what does the defender do? If the defender keeps running, if he's not paying attention to Musgrave, because we don't know what he's doing right now, if he's not paying attention to Musgrave, that means you've got a throwback option right there in the middle. You throw that. Now you're throwing it behind the defense there. So that's exactly what the slam round's supposed to do. You're reading this guy here. You're falling back. Then you throw it behind the defense. You've got a pretty good opportunity there. Now we'll say that this guy falls back. He's back with Musgrave. That's out. Well, now you have a really nice clearing lane to throw to your number one option anyway. So this is just one of those things. I don't know if he needs to hang back. Musgrave needs to slow play this a little bit. You're running off of this guy here, off of this guy here. And then if not, if he is running there, you clear your throwing lane for there. So this is just a weird little nuance thing, I think, for Musgrave that I think maybe you need to learn a little more. This is something that comes with the feel of the defense, not just I run this route because this is what I do. You're looking at in terms of what is everyone else running as well? What's my job here? What's the defense supposed to do based on this? Because right now he's kind of in the throwing lane. So this seems like just something that to be cleaned up from a route running thing, from how they're operating type of thing. Whatever. He throws behind. I don't hate the decision. I think the decision's fine. Again, I think this is just something where with time, with reps, the nuance of that route, I think you end up getting. So that's all I got on that one. Next throw is going to be this really, really nice kind of spin route, curl dig, whatever you want to call it, to Dobbs in the middle. Really nice throw. I was going to say play of the day. It's not, because the touchdown is probably the play of the day. And we'll talk about it. Hold that hook, fire in, up and away. Really nice catch from Dobbs. This is 3rd and 7. Sticks are here. The idea behind this route, behind this idea is you run this curl and you wrap this dig over the top of it. You are trying to hold that hook defender, and you get inside leverage on that guy. That you're trying to attack the middle of the field. That's what you're doing. So as long as you hold that hook defender, you're good to go. You've got now He's hitting the back foot of his drop right there. See, he's got the back foot of his drop. Hook defender is held. This guy's driving on it, but you got a few yards there. You just wrap that sucker around. You put it in a spot where your guy can catch it. Beautifully done. Really nice read. Again, this is one we didn't see. I talk about this a lot. We didn't see this to the Eagles game last year when Love came in. Then we saw it a few times after that with Rodgers, and we've seen it quite a few times here so far in the preseason. So this is a concept I think the Packers are going to be leaning on. I think this is going to be our hook right there. And so it's something we need to get familiar with. And it seems like Love is very comfortable with it. Hold the hook right there. Wrap the dig around. You can see Dobbs coming into screen right there. Put it up and away from his body. Beautiful throw. Drives on that sucker. Really nicely done. This is going to be complete to Musgrave right around there. This is one that, yeah, the throw is not great. The decision is tremendous, I think. Really not tremendous. I don't know. It's a fine decision. But the throw is not great. So little throw to Musgrave in the flat there. What are we looking at? We've got this little smash concept here. Little inside out smash there. The idea behind this is going to be, it's, if you look at it, if you think of it as like a West Coast option, that's exactly how I want to look at it, because that's what it is. Created the core idea, at least they run it a little differently here, is by Lindy Infante, who was an old ex Packers coach. West Coast as West Coast gets, really, and you're looking at ball control. And so the idea is you're reading the outside defender. They're going to switch here. The Patriots are going to switch right there. So it's going to be a little different than how you typically read it, because you're not going outside to outside, whatever. It doesn't matter. What you're trying to do is you're saying, is the corner route open? Because typically what you're doing, you're reading this guy here, the defender on that guy. If he comes up on that, you've got to throw to the corner, because this guy here is going to be playing over the top. So you've got an angle through the corner route. If he falls back here, that means you've got that open. Again, ball control. Take the easy throw if it's there, which is exactly what he's going to do. You're going to have some mix up here, the defense. So kind of crossover, but that just tells Love he hits his back foot. You can see him there. I got that over. That means I've got space there. I'm throwing to Musgrave. The only issue here to me is the throw. He throws high. Musgrave has to go up and get it. And by the time he comes down, the guy's there. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. I think, this can go more to the boundary. I think it's a better throw that you don't want your tight end leaving his feet and then having a turn. So if you throw it out here, catch, turn, I don't think you gain any more than a couple yards, if that, because you got that guy driving on his outside hip anyway. But that should be a better throw, but zero problem whatsoever with the read. One here is going to be a out route to read right there. It's going to be 15 yards on a line from the opposite hash. Ends up being incomplete. We'll talk about that. Drop back, throw it. Incomplete. What are you trying to do? And again, this kind of plays into what the Patriots are trying to take away. You've got this kind of drive concept right there. So you got this kind of deep one. You're trying to high load the middle of the field with that. And then on this side, let me try to go back to my yellow. There we go. Quick out. So you're trying to get outside leverage on that guy there. You got to clear out here. So you're trying to drag that man away, and then you hit the quick out. So the concept here, again, you're trying to attack the middle of the field, which is something that the Patriots very much didn't want them to do. And you can see, if you look at what they're trying to do with the concept, you've got that deep one there. You've got the shallow. Well, it's all kind of taken up. It's not there. And based on how they drop on that pre-snap or post-snap, you can see they're driving on that. You've got these guys kind of bullying here. If you look into the middle, that concept's dead. Zero issue with the decision. He's going to run this out here. And this, again, the ball could be better. Couple things on this. The ball could be better, but also you can see how there's kind of that round at the top. I don't know how they teach this. I don't know how they want him to run this. To me, this seems like, from a spacing thing, the cut starts at the 40. He ends up at the 43. If there's a little less rounding on there, if say he cuts there and cuts it at the 41, I think this throw looks a little better. So this is one I can't say specifically what the throw is supposed to be without knowing how they're teaching this, how they want him to run this. As it is, if we just judge it based on the throw, if we assume that he's supposed to be at the 43, it's not the best ball. I mean, it's on a line. It looks like a pretty throw. I think it just needs to be out a little bit more. So again, we'll talk about this. He's going to drop back, throw that sucker. If the throw's out here, Reed can run and go get it instead to the inside. It still gets to him. Reed does get his hands on it. But again, if Reed is here and the throw is kind of the same way, I think that's perfectly fine, because you've got that guy outside hip a little bit more. You've created a little more space at the top of that route by cutting that a little more harshly, I guess, at the top of the stem. Instead, kind of a little behind, he has to reach back. So again, decision's fine. Throw, I withhold judgment on the throw because I don't know exactly how that route's supposed to be cut. So we'll be done with that one, I guess. Gets his hands on it, incomplete. This one here, this is the deep shot to Dobbs, which was ruled incomplete on the field. Ends up being on review. He drug that foot. So we'll look at this and we'll throw it. We're going to look at these safeties there a little bit there as far as what the decision is going to be. Chucks that sucker. Dobbs comes down with it. Again, they say here, incomplete, pushed out of bounds. We know that's incorrect, but what are they trying to do? What's the concept? What's the defense doing? So they're trying to run this cross-country dagger on this side, this concept side, meant to attack the middle of the field. You got your 1 to 2. As we talked about, I think, did we talk about this before? No, we'll talk about this later. You're looking at this guy here, and you're looking to attack the middle. If he's not open, it likely means you're influencing the defense, who's going to be running that way with it. Open up a space for the middle there. We're going to look at the main thing we're looking at here is these two safeties. They are in this kind of, potentially quarters look. You got these 4 guys back, but it hinges on these guys here. Because if they're driving down, that means that you do not have what you thought you had in the middle. So we're going to have right here, you can see them right here. Ball's been snapped. These guys are flat-footed. So they're looking to drive on the middle. If you look at the concept side itself, again, you got there, nothing there. You've got him on the backside hip. He's riding him across the field. He's ready to drive on that. You're going to cut here. You got this guy in the backside hip. This safety is ready to drive on this. So you've got nothing on the concept, which you know just by looking at those safeties, and we'll see that from the other angle, which means I've got one-on-one on the outside. I've got no safeties. They're tied to the middle. If you're reading that, if I'm looking at those guys, they're shallow. They're at their sticks. It's 2nd and 9. Patriots likely thinking in the shadow of their own goal line. I think his ball was snapped at the 6 or the 7 or something. Shadow of their own goal line. We want to drive on this. We want to make this tough for them in the middle of the field. We know they probably want to go to the middle of the field, pick up some yards, either get that first down or make it a 3rd and short. We're taking that away from them, which means to Love, those guys are tied. I've got middle of the field's done. I've got my shot. So there we go. He's going to throw that up over the top. Kind of the same thing with Watson a little bit from last week, where I think Dobbs squeezes us a bit. I think he has a chance to kind of get back on top and allow himself to fade. But I think he does, if we sit from the other side, he does let himself give a little more room for that ball to fit. If you want to complain about this, which you can say the ball could be a little bit more out inside in front of Dobbs. I don't know that I have a huge issue with the throw. You could put a little bit more on that. Maybe this is the coaching point, put more air under the ball. Maybe he just wants to do that. I'm not entirely sure, because that's what LaFleur kind of is the teaching point. So maybe this is a little bit lower, maybe more something Love is familiar with, comfortable with in the regular season. I'm not entirely sure. But again, we're going to look at the safety right here. And let's look at the stripe on his helmet to kind of read this. So you got the pre-snap picture, post-snap picture. He's looking, that guy's in place. So I know, okay, that means I'm transitioning my footwork. You look at his feet, bang, bang. He's ready to throw it. You plant that back foot and drive on that in the middle. If it's there, it's not. So he just sets, hop, throw. Again, Dobbs has some room there. And if he's able to work back inside, you give him a little more room over the top, kind of get him stacked. It's not there. He fades that throw to the sideline. I was making a really nice catch. So again, you could say that ball could be a little bit more in front of him. You could say Dobbs could stack that guy a little better once he gets on top. He has about a step on him. So maybe you do have that opportunity. Overall, I think that's a great read by Love, a great decision, and a good enough throw. You can say I could have been out a little bit further in front of him. I don't know that I'm going to disagree with you, but the throw got the job done. This is the only drop back that was not a throw. He's looking to go deep in the middle, which again, the Patriots are looking to take away. Then Love is going to scramble. Get up and talk a little bit after. We don't really get a chance to see that here, but he does kind of get on a guy a little bit for hitting him late. So there he goes, take off running, gets hit, flags come out, Love gets up, guys come to Love's rescue, everything's happy. Okay, we are looking at this deep cross look here. Got Dobbs from that side, Watson from this side. Sorry, I hit my keyboard with my mouse, so I got this little weird thing here. He does not actually spin in the middle there. We're going to have, again, they drop back. We're going to watch number 3. right here for the Patriots. He does a good job. It's what's called robot. So you roll over and back. So with the play action, you kind of come up. And then you also know off of play action, you're usually looking to attack the middle of the field. So instead of just backpedaling back and losing a little bit of time, you just turn your back to the line. And you know, I probably got crossers behind me. I'm going to take those crossers. Does a good job of taking those. If you're looking to hit Watson, that's out. I think Dobbs flattens this a little bit. So you've got, I think maybe if there's a little more time, or if this guy's playing a little bit further back, I think you've got a line to Dobbs. This guy's held down by this flat control route here. So you've got a line to Dobbs because he kind of, instead of rounding this up, he cuts that straight across. You do have an angle on there, but you've got some issues there, and not issues in the middle. Maybe he takes off running anyway, because as we'll see from the other line, he does have room to run. Takes off running, doesn't love the throw, take off running, get hit. So this is designed to be kind of this quick hitting. I thought watching this live, because you can't see the whole thing, that this was kind of this drift, strike, PA, bang, dig concept, and it's not. But it's kind of, you're playing off play action. You're playing off that boot action and then trying to hit something behind it. So again, you show that, and then instead of booting out that way, you're stuck in place. So you're looking to get these guys kind of, flowing that way, and then you hit something behind him. Step his foot in. Again, number 3 does a good job staying in the middle there. Running block. I mean, he's got him pretty good. He's going to let him go. You don't want to hold him. And he also got this angle of escape here. So he's just going to see this. He's going to take off running. 1st and 10, gets some yards. He's looking behind him, gets hit. Again, I think the decision's good. You can, if he hung in there a little bit longer, maybe he throws out to Dobbs. But then even then, that's a long throw, and a guy has a chance to drive on it. You've got the middle of the field open. Not middle of the field open as far as coverage is talking, but just you've got that umbrella. You got a bubble to run into. Just take it, man. This is going to be the last throw we're looking at. Touchdown to Reed. You're going to be throwing it right around there. So we'll watch the play. We'll watch it from a couple different angles. We'll talk about it. There it goes. Throw high and away. Beautifully done. Beautiful throw to Reed. What do we got? We have got, again, this kind of cross-country dagger look. 1 to 2. And you're looking, again, clear out. You're looking to clear out the middle. If one is open, take one. If not, it's created space for 2. You're also going to have this kind of like flat delay, secondary route vertical from Watson on this, but the main action is in the middle of the field here. So we're going to see him. Dylan, great job there, and we'll talk about that from the other angle. Love drops back. You see that safety's deep. You got these linebackers. You need to hold those in place a little bit. You've got this guy out with Watson. So you want to hit Reed. This guy's on his back hip. We'll talk about that in a second. And but those linebackers are the trouble. You need to make sure you don't throw it directly into one of them. You don't want to fit it over, because if you throw it too high, you can't lob it. That guy's going to be able to drive on it. It has to be on a line. Nice throw. We'll look at the route from Reed. Then we'll look at it from the other angle and get out of here. So Reed's here. He's going to kind of release inside, get his shoulder into the chest of his defender to get that inside leverage. There we go. His shoulder in the chest, break out, and then just kind of keep running. Nice route by Reed. And we'll look at it from the back angle. We see here. So a couple things. One, we'll look at Love pre-snap. See him pointing over here. One of those guys, see how they're coming? One of those guys is coming. Check that out. So we got 2 here. Dylan, bang. Buries him. Nicely done by Love here. The other thing we're going to look at is these linebackers in the middle who are going to drop out. Right here and right here. That's Reed. We're going to watch Love. It's tough to see here exactly without running it. We'll run it back a few times. Kind of almost the same thing to do with Musgrave, although not exactly, I guess. He's looking to kind of hold those guys in the middle. He's trying to hold those linebackers in the middle of the field. So he kind of tries to manipulate them a little bit. You got to stare them down. He's got his feet a little bit. He's got a half pump in there. You're just trying to move that guy really just enough to open Reed up over the top. He originally wants to hit him as he wraps around right here. That's not really there. So he has to go second window here. So he wants to hit him there. I don't know. You've got that guy. Maybe that complicates things. He's there. You don't really like that. So you kind of delay. Get a little half pump. That little half pump there kind of draws that guy in, and then he has a vertical. Instead of dropping horizontally, that little half pump and little shift moves that guy back like a step. So instead of dropping there, he's dropping there, which is exactly enough. Fires that sucker in, up and away. Just watch the throw. Fires it up and away from Reed. Beautiful throw. Nice job holding the linebackers. Really well done from Love and from Reed. So this was shorter than the last one. Again, 9 dropbacks, 8 throws. I don't know that I have an issue, again, decision making on any of the throws aside from that first one where I would have liked to see him maybe just throw that away instead of trying to fit that into DeGuara. So overall, once again, impressed with Jordan Love decision making. Couple throws you want back, a deep one to Dobbs, where you can say that maybe that can go out a little bit further. The out to Reed, the throw high to Musgrave. So the accuracy, I don't know if that's going to be an issue his entire career. It certainly bit him a little bit in college, something to keep an eye on. But as far as decision making, I think he looks great. Footwork looks good. I think some of the stuff was a little cleaner today than we saw last week. Not that I don't know if they had an emphasis on that or whatever, but I will stop talking. Overall, once again, I think impressive performance from Love. Love the decision making. I'll likely see you guys next week, provided they start Love or something else interesting happens. So once again, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you next week.